Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Leslie and I like to post lifestyle, budgeting, and motherhood type of content here on the Mother Plan. Alright guys, so for today's video, I'm going to be doing a paycheck breakdown. As you can see, I do have a new budget planner to use for the year of 2022. I know we're going into February, I'm a little late, but better late than never. I decided it was time for a change. And if you're wondering why I switched to the Budget Mom workbook, I will go ahead and leave a link up in the cards above. And in that video, I kind of explain why I swapped over to this notebook instead of using, you know, kind of like my printable sheets, which I probably will still be using that from time to time just as a rough draft, but I'm going to try my best to work in this workbook. This workbook has a lot of extra pages that I think will be helpful for my budget, and I am officially moving from a bi-weekly budget to a weekly budget. Not because I get paid from my job weekly or my husband get paid from a job weekly. We both still get paid bi-weekly. It's just that I need to get a hyper lens on the budget and make sure I am calculating everything out week to week. I'm finding that I'm having a little bit of issue with the budget at the end of the month because I am going into a new month by doing the paycheck to paycheck method. So when I do my pre-planned budget, I use a monthly view and I kind of map everything out and get a good number of what I want to throw towards debt. And I'm just kind of finding that at the end of the month, it's just kind of hard to calculate because my budget is, say I'll have X amount of dollars when actually I have to cover the first part of the bills for the next month. It's just a big hassle. It's kind of like one of those things, yes, it's an extra paycheck in the year, but you got to really use that paycheck for bills and you don't really have all of it extra. It's just a bit of a mess. So what I would like to do is just move over to weekly budgeting and we'll just see if that works. And I also get an influx of income because I do own a Etsy shop and sometimes I get money from that and sometimes I don't. Also, we get a little bit of extra cash from family who are currently staying with us. So just kind of like different numbers come up at different times of the month, and I want to be as accurate as possible, and plus I want to make sure I'm tracking all of our spending. I do it electronically with the EveryDollar app, but I want to move to paper and pen for the 2022 year. So enough of that. Like I said, I'll go into more detail in that video, so I'll go ahead and link it, but let's go ahead and move to the current budget, which is the paycheck from the 27. So let's go ahead and get into this video. Okay, so we are technically still in January. So like I said, I am moving to a weekly budget. So what I'm going to do, I went ahead and kind of tested out the layout a little bit. So I just rewrote the budget that you guys already seen in the previous paycheck breakdown. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by writing, let's go to a one-page view. Alright, I'm going to first start off by writing our paycheck date. That was January 27th. Okay, so normally I would cover the bills all the way up until the 10th. This time I'm going to start my budget on a Monday. So I'm going to budget from Monday to Sunday. So Monday is actually the 31st, which is tomorrow. So literally I'm just going to put that and just put the 27th through the 31st. And I know it's short, 27th to 31st is not a full week, but it is when I decided to go ahead and move to a weekly budget. So let's go ahead and start off with our rollover. Now we did have a rollover from the first paycheck of the month, and that was $162. And that is exactly what we knew we had, so I'm going to put that for both the budget and the actual. Then I'm going to go ahead and put the first paycheck. We projected $1,600, and then the second paycheck we projected $1,500. Alright, so this is an exciting update. I would like to say they finally paid me my money. Yay! Like, I am super excited. They did not pay me a separate check like they said they were, but it was on the current check. So I only budgeted $1,600 because that's exactly what it would have been without the extra incentive pay. But since they added the money in, the check was actually $4,051. So that is awesome. The other check, my husband's check, was a little bit more as well at $1,768. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of math here. So for projected amounts, we thought we were going to bring home $3,262. But since I finally got my money from December, y'all, if y'all have not known about this, y'all know I talk about it in every video. This money was from the pay periods, what was it, November, yes, November 27 to like December 10th or 11th, something like that. That's how long I've been missing this money. It's just crazy. But it's okay, I'm happy we got it now, all is well. So what I'm going to do is add up the actual 162,4051 and 1768. We are going to be working with $5,981. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and write down the expenses really quick, and I will be right back.
You should know I'm not like others. You should know I'm not the one. If you trust me with your feelings, I won't make you wanna run. Only in my dreams, only in my dreams. I play fair, I don't make you leave. Oh my God, why is it so hard to lie?
Alright guys, I'm back, and I hope this part does not get too confusing, because honestly it's kind of confusing to me too. But I'm going to try it. I just don't know how to start off doing this whole weekly budget, and I want to start off fresh for February. So this was the only solution I can kind of come up with to try my best to move to a weekly budget. It's just a hard transition for me. So normally I would put aside $1,180 for the mortgage, and that's because we are dividing it up by every 2 weeks, but I'm going to actually be doing it weekly. So that $1,180 is going to be divided by 2, and then the $590 is what we are going to be paying weekly. Okay, so instead of it being $1,180, we're going to put, let me get my red. All right, so back to what we were saying. Instead of the $1,180, I'm going to break this down by week, and it's going to be $590. The insurance, so some of these bills I'm going to continue to cover per paycheck and not per week. So the insurance will be one of them, just because it is automatically deducted from my paycheck. So I'm going to keep that as is. So the Sling TV is actually coming out this week, so I kept that one on here. Now, here we go. This is a credit card bill that normally comes out the first week of the month. I want to say it's around, I think the due date is either the 3rd or the 4th. I can't remember. But I know for sure it is not the end of January. So instead of me doing $215 here, it's going to be 0. Now I'm still going to account for it. That's why you see this February budget set up here. So I am going to just shift the numbers just so I know that that stuff still needs to be paid, but I'm not going to pull it out of this week's budget. I know it's kind of confusing. Like I said, I'm just trying to make sense of it in my head so I can kind of set myself up for success, as they say, for the first week of February. Same thing with the cell phone bills. This bill is not due until like the 6th, I want to say. So I'm going to put 0 here, but I am going to account for that money right here in the February setup. Now, let's move over to the internet bill. This does come out this week. I went ahead and used that amount for this budget. It was over about $2. They decided now it's January, I guess they're going to go up on prices. So my bill went from $127 to now it's $129. So here's another thing that happened, unfortunately, with this particular pay period. It was time to renew our homeowner's insurance. Now, as a reference, our homeowner's insurance is part of our mortgage payment. We pay a lot of things within our mortgage payment. I know I get that comment about how high my mortgage is, but you guys have to also keep in account that I pay the actual principal and the balance. I pay my property taxes through here. I pay my mortgage insurance through here. I pay my CDD fees for my neighborhood in here. And I also pay homeowners insurance. So there's a lot of things that is lumped into one payment, and we pay on that monthly just so we're not scrambling and trying to get property taxes together and trying to get this together. We all just have it into one bill, and it's like, and the money that we don't use for the principal and interest for that month, it goes into our escrow account. And when those other bills pop up, like the homeowner's insurance is yearly, the property taxes is yearly, the CDD fees is yearly, all that stuff, we have money reserved in our escrow account, so the lender pays that on our behalf. So I hope that kind of clears that up. I know I got a question about how much the mortgage is for us, and that why do we put so much per paycheck. So I just kind of want to give a reference to why this number is what it is. So moving back down to here, so our lender already paid our homeowner's insurance for the year of 2022. Here's the bad part. When I saw the bill, I was like, oh my gosh, the homeowner's insurance went up by $400 and something. It was something crazy. And I was like, why is the homeowner insurance so expensive? Blah, blah, blah. So what I think happened, you guys, I remember when my husband got in that car accident a while ago, we ended up having to swap our insurance company and go with a different carrier just so we can have a reasonable insurance rate. Well, I think that dropped us for the multi-policy discount. So they went up on our home owner's insurance because we had the same company for our car, we had the same for our home. So once I saw that came off the bill, I immediately like, oh my gosh, let me call around, let me call our current insurance company that we have through the car and see what I can work out. So the good news is I was able to get a better rate with the current car insurance provider that we have. I now am going to put the home insurance with that. Now, the bad part is I have to start a new policy, and since the money is already spent from out of my escrow account, me and my husband had to put the money down towards the homeowner's insurance. So this was not part of my budget, but I still have to account for it. So it ended up being $119. And they were kind enough to let us just do 1 month just so they can get the policy started. They said we can go ahead and pay the rest in full once we get the refund check from the old home insurance company. That was like such a long story, right? I'm sorry, I just wanted to kind of get in context and explain everything, especially you're like, what is homeowner insurance? You never had that on your budget before. So this is a new item. I have not decided if I'm going to do this monthly or if I'm going to put it back into my escrow account and have the lender take care of that for me. We haven't quite decided yet, but for right now, I didn't want the coverage to lapse. So starting February 1st, we will have a new homeowner's insurance, and we just paid up on that for the first month. So I'll see what happens once I get that refund check. Unfortunately, they can't debit it back into the account, so we'll be getting a paper check in the mail. That kind of sucks, so hopefully it won't take too long. Okay, now let's talk about this February setup. Since I'm going to be moving to a weekly budget, I'm a little nervous on how this all going to work out. So I decided to set aside the money for these two bills and just actually put it in here as far as our budget. So I know we need the other half of the mortgage, so it's going to be $590, plus we need the cell phone and the credit card bill. So I'm gonna need an additional $215, and I'm gonna need additional $220. Those are the bills that I have to cover. I don't think there's anything else, but like I said, this is my first time doing this, so I'm hoping that this will work. Now, so far that's $1,025. But I need to think about my cash envelopes. I am not going to be stuffing the sinking funds weekly, but I do need spending money weekly. So we will do the regular spending cash envelopes. So for this paycheck, I am going to put the full amount as if I was going to cover the envelopes. What am I trying to say? As if I was going to cover the envelopes bi-weekly, just because I've already did this budget in the beginning of the month of January. So this is what has a little crazy to me. I don't quite know how to go about it, but I'm just going to try it. So $250, my normal amount, 100. Gas is getting 175. Miscellaneous is going to get 40. Me and my husband, we would both get 40, and family fun will get 40. So my total is going to be $685. So what I did was kind of use this as a guide, and that's what I think I'm going to need as far as the setup for February. I'm going to just slice it in half to make it be a weekly budget. I'm going to take this $685 and divide it by 2, and it's $342.50, so I'm just going to say $343. So I'm going to need $343 to go towards my cash envelopes, and all I'm going is basically put in half, like $125, $50, $88 for gas, $20 for the rest of the spending envelopes. So that's what I'm going to put right here in this February setup. Like I said, I know this is really confusing. I apologize, but this is just how my brain works, okay? So all together for my budget setup for February, I need the $590 for mortgage. I need the $215 for the credit card, $220 for the cell phones, and I need $343 for my February setup. So that's a total of $1,368, and that's what we're going to set aside to get us started with the month of February. So let's go ahead and add up our bill total, what I projected. Alright, so I projected only needing $1,982, and I'm going to subtract that from the original budget, $3,262 minus $1,982, and then that's $1,280. But we are actually going to be working with, so 590, 240, 129, 119, 1,368. All right, so this is actually 2,446. All right, let's see how much we would have left. So I'm going to take this amount right here, 5,981 minus 2,446. So we are left with $3,535. Okay, so now with her worksheet, you bring those totals down again. So let's go ahead and do that. So for cash envelopes, I now should have $1,280. That was what I budgeted for. But actually we have $3,535 to work with. So now I am going to fill in all of these as is. I'm not going to count for next week because I already put it in this total right here. So all of these are going to be right on budget. So the 250 will stay, 100, 175, 40, 40, 40, and 40. So this should be also $685. Hey guys, so I totally messed that all the way up. I am just now realizing it as I'm editing the video. I had already did the paycheck breakdown that you guys are watching right now, and I already stuffed the envelope. So I did a cash stuffing video right after this one. So I totally doubled the amount that I was supposed to put in the cash envelope for this particular paycheck breakdown because I already put it in the February setup. I don't know how that happened. I was not paying attention. So I wanted to go ahead and let you guys know I did take some money out of the grocery envelope, and I took money out of the gas envelope, and I want to say the child care envelope. I went ahead and left the miscellaneous family fund, and my husband and I left our envelopes the same, just so we could have a little bit of buffer to go into next month since this is new to me. So I didn't want to take everything out, but I did take out the extra out of the gas and the groceries and the child care envelope. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I caught it, it's all okay, and then hopefully I'll be ready to move to the weekly budgeting. So let's go ahead and subtract the $685 away from the $1280. So we were only supposed to have $595, but we actually have $35.35 minus $685. We still have $2,850. Okay, so this part gets a little tricky as well, only because I am not going to stuff the sinking funds every week. I'm just going to do it bi-weekly. So this part we're going to try to leave the same. So we said we had $2,850 to work with. So I'm not going to list all the sinking funds here. I'm actually just going to put high priority. And low priority. And I have two separate binders. All right. Yep. Okay. So 135 is what I budget for the low priority, and then 270 will be for the high priority, and that's going to be in our actual budget as well. Okay. So 270 plus the 135, that is $405. So now I'm going to subtract the $405 away from the $595. So $595 minus $405, that is $190. And then we'll do the same thing over here. 2850 minus 405. So we are still left with 2,445. Now, since this is the end of the month, y'all know I do pay debt at the end of the month. I don't do it in the beginning because I just want to make sure all the bills are paid and we have what we need for our sinking funds. So I'm just going to put debt snowball. And then down here in savings, I'm going to put 52 weeks because we are doing a saving challenge. Now, y'all, I did not have any time to cut up the numbers and do all that stuff again. I apologize. So just like last week, we did 1 and then we did 52. This time, I'm just going to do 2 and 3. I'm going to make it as simple as possible. So it's going to be $5 and then the actual amount is going to be $5. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract this from, take the $5 from here. So $24.45 minus 5, that's going to give me $2,440. That is the amount for my debt snowball. Super exciting about that. Just because they did give us our money, so yay. And then here, this was only going to be $185. Thank goodness that we got that check, so it's way higher. So if you do the 190 minus 85, you obviously have the $5 left, so that's where I got this from. So 185 and then $5 left. And then right here, same thing, we're left with $5. And then 5. And then the actual amount, oh, that should be in black. Oh, whatever, right? Okay, so saving totals would be $5, $5, and we have 0 left. So now we're at a 0 base budget. Oh, y'all could not see. I apologize, y'all. I apologize. See, that's another thing I gotta look up while I'm doing this. I just totally did all that and you guys couldn't see. I'm so sorry. So $5 left, $5 left. We are at a 0 base budget. I know this video is all over the place, y'all. I apologize. I'm going to get it together. This is the first time using this book, so it will be okay. I am going to I'm going to write this down off camera. I'm not going to worry about it for this video, but I will use this in the cash stuffing video. So I'm not going to do it right now, but this is pretty much our paycheck breakdown. I really hope this works out. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if it's going to work or not. So I will let y'all know. Y'all going to see live anyway. So this is the first paycheck I did as far as using this method. And as you see here, I am going to have $1,368 in my bank account to set aside for the February monthly setup. And that's what I'm going to call it. Like, of course, we're going to roll over money, but I will close out the budget for the end of the month to make it zero. But I am going to account for whatever money we may need to roll over into the next month. Now, with that being said, I know someone's going to say, well, that's just basically paycheck to paycheck budgeting. I get it, but it's more than that. I'm trying to micromanage my budget just to make sure I'm not missing anything and to make this process here easier for me when it's time to calculate my debt snowball. Okay, so y'all, that's it. As a recap, we brought home way more than what we expected because they finally gave me that paycheck that they owed me. So our total was $5,981 that we were going to be working with for this week. And our total expenses came up to $2,446 just so we can count for our February setup. Our cash envelopes came in at $685. We're going to be putting $405 towards our sinking funds and $5 towards our saving challenge. We were left with $2,440. And I'm going to be so happy to use all that money to pay down this truck. That is the very next debt we are working on. So all that money is going to go straight towards the truck. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below if you have any tips or suggestions on how to make this weekly budget work. Then I'm all ears. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to set up for the cash stuffing. So I'll see you guys over in that video. Bye.